Hello friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop. Got a Quickie Repair, that's what I'm going to call this. Some of you would look at this and go, Quickie? Are you sure? Well, I think it is anyway. Got a guitar here. I just basically repaired a ton of things on this old guitar only about 2 months ago or less, and put all new bridge pins in it, repaired the bridge holes, did a fret job on it, leveled all the frets, made it look real nice. And now, see what happened? Well, there's a little bit more to the story here. This gentleman, the man that brought it to me, is an older fella. I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm going to say he's in his 80s, you know, something like that. Maybe bumping 90. He's got an older son that's in a nursing home that has cerebral palsy. And so he's really rough on his guitar. And just like these pins and stuff, why they're gone already and why they've been changed out, I have no idea, because I put a matching set in there. You know, you're dealing with a fellow that you know, falls a lot, likes to play, and I guess he probably takes it apart and puts it back together. Who knows what he's doing. But anyway, he fell and he broke this peg head. To me, this is a pretty quick fix, just because it does fit back up together pretty well. Main issues with this to fix it, one of them is aligning it really well, and the other, of course, is getting glue on it really well, and the third one would be to be sure that you get it clamped really well and let it set, you know, still for about 24 hours. So anyway, that's what we're going to do here, is fix this really quick for the fella. We'll make it right, and it should be fairly quick and fairly easy, fairly painless for me. So here we go. The trick to this is to use a good carpenter's wood glue. You know, make sure you get plenty of glue on it. But the main thing is to make sure you get the glue everywhere. You know, you don't want to take any risks in that, expecting the glue to spread out on its own, because it never will spread out as good as you can brush it out. So you want to take time, brush it back into the nooks and the crannies. Okay, that's about as good as we can do. Obviously you want to be sure to match it up as cleanly and as perfectly as you can match it up. And you want to get good clamping pressure on this. I'm going to have to rig up some clamps. I'll bring you back in just a moment. Well, I've got a clamp on here. It would be really nice if there was some way to have pressure from the end pushing it into the neck this way. I can't really come up with a good way to do that. It's just an awkward break and an awkward deal. I don't know that I can make that happen. I just noticed something here. You know, you keep in mind what we're dealing with and who we're dealing with, but these looks like the little silver caps are popped off of the back of this too. I don't know, never seen that before, but guitar gets a lot of abuse. I do know that. That's kind of a sad situation. So I believe this is going to hold it well enough. I really forced it in there with my hand as tight as I can as I'm applying pressure to this clamp. I've got the clamp just squeezed down as tight as I can possibly get it. I really think that's about as good as we can do in this situation. Okay, we've got the neck glued back on it. It feels solid. I don't think it's going to be a problem. You know, I'm not going to go into great detail to fix this and make it look perfect just because of the circumstances. But I'm going to put some dye on here just to cover this up. I think it'll make it look a little better. I already filed it down a little bit to get rid of the rough edges there where it broke.
Makes it look a little bit better anyway. You can still, there's a pretty good gap out right there, but there's not much you can do about that. I mean, I could fill it with something, I guess, but you know, it's because of the circumstances, it's likely to get broke again. So we're not going to spend a lot of time and money on this for this fella, and we're just going to fix it back up and make it playable. So we're going to put the tuning keys back on it. Put the truss rod cover back on. Okay, I believe it's ready to put the strings back on it. Well, I have the guitar neck repaired, and I mean, it's not the best looking repair in the world. It's smooth, you don't feel it, but you know, we got to consider the problem here, and the fact that this poor fellow falls with it a lot and broke it, and it's probably going to happen again. So we're not going to worry about the super details. What happened when I started stringing it up is that I noticed that I wasn't really gaining on the strings. I mean, like I'd start tightening them, and it just didn't seem like they were tightening that much. And I then noticed that the action here was really high all of a sudden. And so then I looked at the heel of the neck, and the neck, sure enough, is broke across here. And it started pulling up, and maybe I can even open that up for you. You can probably see it a little bit there, how it opens up. So we didn't know that that was broke. So that's not a good thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually put some tension on these strings to open that crack up a little bit. While it's open, I'm going to paint a lot of glue up in there and get it back in there as good as I can. Then we'll release the pressure on the strings and put a good clamp on this and let it set another 24 hours. We've seen this technique before. I've got some warm water here, and I'm basically going to paint a little bit of warm water down in this crack. It just helps get that glue to suck down in there. If you can get a little water going down in there, the water has that capillary action, and then that glue can ride that water down into the crack. Otherwise, you're really kind of up against it getting glue down in there. It'll go into the surface, but it won't go very deep. And I can see how the wood is getting damp down in there. The crack's big enough that I can see down in there pretty far, and I can definitely see that wood has changed color from a light brown to a darker brown, meaning that it's gotten the water on it. So that's a good thing in this case. Now I'll just mop up the extra water, and that dry wood will soak up enough of the water that it won't be a problem. And now we'll just start pouring glue down in that hole, and hopefully it'll literally pour down in there, although the crack's not so big. It'd be nice if the crack actually was a little bit bigger. It would go down in there a little bit easier. Alright, now we'll take a damp paintbrush and we'll try to force the glue down in there as best we can. Okay, now we'll take the pressure back off of the strings. And as I release the pressure, you can see the glue starting to squeeze out. And as I squeeze it, even more comes out. So I think we did a pretty good job of getting glue down in there. You know, this one is on, I'm on the fence of whether I should have just taken it apart and gone ahead and pulled the top of the neck out of there, but I really think, you know, considering what we're dealing with, that he may fall with it again. You know, if it breaks again and we have to go deeper, we'll go deeper. But I kind of think this will be plenty strong and should last. Under normal circumstances, I would say this will last pretty much virtually forever. But under these circumstances, only time will tell. We've got her clamped up really good. The joint tightened up perfectly. I really think it'll be fine since we know we got glue in there really deep. That glue is really stronger than the wood is. You've heard that before, but it is really true. So I don't expect any further problem with that, but we all understand the circumstances we're dealing with here. So more than likely the guitar will be broke again and we'll just have to fix it again.
We're back with the Washburn guitar. The neck has been glued across here. As you can see, a little seam there. And I think it's going to be okay. So we're about to find that out. We're going to tension it up, bring it up to pitch. Feels like it's holding just fine. I don't see any problem with the actual neck now. Well, it looks like it's holding together. Sounds real good to me. But then again, I've got a wooden ear, so. No, it really does sound good. It looks pretty good. The action's, you know, maybe a hair high, but it's not bad. And you know, considering that the neck was broke completely in two places, here and down here. Hope you enjoyed that little quick repair, and I just pray for the fellow. I hope that it won't happen again and that he'll be able to enjoy his guitar. Thank you for watching.